Hey y'all, it's your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. Well, I guess you can hear me regardless, okay? It's your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. Thanks for joining in. This is another episode of Girl, Is That Legal? As I reconnect my pink microphone. There we go. Let me adjust this. Let us know as you are joining us. Let us know where you're joining in from. As you do, I am excited to get y'all a little update, honey. We are finally having my first official meet and greet. Yes, these are the jail cells. Y'all, I am back in Diddy's jail cell, but for reasons I'll explain tomorrow, he may not be in there much longer. Diddy might be about that thing, okay? Yes, we got Influenced by Life, watching from Mississippi. Marcus G. Somehow, I'm here. Yes, we're back in Diddy's jail cell. My girl Moni, she did my makeup. I'm so selfish with my makeup artist, y'all, because like I want to support her because she's amazing, but at the same time, I don't want y'all to make it to where like when I call her like 72 hours before I can't get an appointment. So there's that. Oh, honey, we're gonna talk Shannon today. On the docket is Shannon Sharpe, the T app. Okay, I had to take my time, y'all. Y'all was like, "What about the T app? What about the T app?" I said, "Listen, I'm nosy too. Let me get up on that thing before I start talking about it." Oh, and I got an update for y'all. I got some tea. Hold on. Tea. I got some tea. I got some vodka. I got a little tequila to go with it. Okay, it's a bunch going on that tea app. That's for darn tea. Oh, I see the comments. Yes, checking in for Michigan. And as we get started, I want to let you know. So I want to share the details of my first meet and greet. So it's going to be in Cedar Hill, Texas. That is actually, here you go. It's okay. There, it says we lost audio to the screen share. Let me just delete it. Stop this one and add it. So my first meet and greet is actually going to be in Cedar Hill, Texas. That is like so perfect for me. I'm so glad we could do that because Cedar Hill is a suburb of Dallas. So if you're in Dallas, Cedar Hill is within 20 to 30 minutes. And Cedar Hill is actually where I served as a judge. That was the first city I served as a judge in. Like some people like don't know I used to be a judge. But yes, I actually was. I was one of the youngest judges ever in Dallas County. So there's that. That's probably why I'm a nerd. I will acknowledge I am totally a nerd. Let me put this at there it is. Here we are. So let me go. I'm going to here air the details for my meet and greet, and the link is in my Instagram bio, but I will also actually put it in the description below. So it's going to be in Cedar Hill at an open house. You guys also know I own Experience Title LLC, which is part of the Red Wine Law Firm. I co-own it with my lovely partner, Title Tina. And this Friday from 7 to 9 p.m., we have a meet and greet / open house where I'm also going to be doing a little live show. So here is a clip from that. Let me see. You got the audio. Here we go.
Donnell for Night of Dust and Decadence in her newest luxury listing located at 2542 Townview. Get up close and personal with co-owner of Red Wine Title, social media influencer, lawyer, and legal bestie, Simone Redwine. Simone will be there to take selfies, sign autographs, answer legal questions, and raffle off a free background check.
Yes.
Enjoy your free background check, sips of wine, and the sounds of the DJ, all while networking with DFW's upper echelon. This is a night you won't want to miss. Be sure and register. Join celebrity real estate broker Tanika Donnell for Night of Dust and Decadence in her newest luxury listing located at 2542 Townview. Get up close and personal with co-owner of Red Wine Title, social media influencer, lawyer, and legal bestie, Simone Redwine.
There you go. And the link to that, like I said, I'm going to put it below, but it's also in my Instagram bio. Of course, you can also go to my website, go to SimoneRedwine.com. If you want to schedule a consultation with me, just click book Simone. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now up here about Simone. Yeah, here you go. Book hire Attorney Simone. Consultations start for 30 minutes at $200. Here's the thing. You know who probably needs to book with me right now? Not being funny. Some of these men on the T app. Okay, we're going to get to that second. We're going to start with Mr. Shannon Sharpe. Mr. Sharpe. No, Mr. Sharpe. We're there. We're there. Thank you guys. Yes, this Friday. Should I bring my sleeping bag? Is it a sleepover? This one isn't a sleepover, Marcus. Marcus, it is not a sleepover, but that's cute. This is not. The voice is that get her a 9765. She might could do that. That might. It says I'm going to book all the available bookings. Okay, please don't do that, Marcus. If you do that, I'm going to have to get a restraining order. Okay, Marcus, and you're not going to be able to come to no more meet and greet. So go slow there, Marcus. Go slow, buddy. All right, but Shannon Sharpe. So previously, we have covered on this channel the Shannon Sharpe case. What we also covered is I talked about how ESPN had told him when this thing popped off, they said, you got to get this resolved. And remember, he stepped down. Keep in mind, ESPN is also owned by the Disney company. It is part of like ABC family, which is owned by Disney. Family friendly, right? Now, they told this gentleman, Mr. Sharpe, they said, you need to get this resolved by the end of football season, which clearly was a pressure point for mediation. And he just happened to get it resolved. It was actually the week before last. So it was like before the 15th of July. And I'm sure Tony Busby put that pressure on him because Tony Busby knew if I were that girl's attorney, and mind you, I think it was all consensual. I'm going to say it personally. I think it was consensual, but I think that he didn't put the protections in place that any lawyer would create and have in place for their client, like an NDA, like this, that, and the third. Anyway, with this young lady, ESPN told him, you need to get this resolved. He then, and my sources have told me he settled it for at least $20 million. Double what was offered in mediation. Now, mind you, he thought $10 million, we Gucci. Tony Busby said, that Negro's got more. That colored boy, we gonna shake him down. We're gonna shake that colored boy down. Because Tony Busby knew it wasn't just ESPN, but that it was also the fact that he had allegedly on the table $100 million podcasting deal. So Mr. Busby said, no, we're not gonna let that colored boy go off of $10 million. And mind you, at that point, $10 million settlement would have been 33 1/3. I've seen Tony Busby's contracts. Excuse me. I'm familiar. I'll say this. I'm familiar with Tony Busby's contracts. I'm not getting nobody in trouble. I haven't seen them. I'm familiar with them now. And if you settle before a lawsuit is filed, which would have been the case at mediation, Tony Busby would have gotten $3,333,000. And old girl would have gotten the balance, which would have been like 700 or 600K and some change. But Tony said, not so fast. We gonna get this colored boy in the corner. He's got a contract with Disney, and that's what they did. Now, I'm pretty sure Shannon thought, all right, let's get this knocked out. You know, ESPN told me get this figured out before the season's over. So before the season starts, rather, football season. Football season starts. Preseason is what starts football season. The first preseason game is tomorrow, July 31st. And he thought he did that. And ESPN said, we don't care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So he just gave this girl $20 million, thinking that was going to save his career with his entity. Now, statistics have said this man in his career only made $22 million. It makes me wonder, how much did you? I think he has 2 grown kids, maybe 3 grown kids. How much? That's more than he paid in child support. That's a lot of money. So here, we're going to share this article. I want you to see, I'm going to go through this synopsis from the New York Times, and I'm going to break it down. It says, this is a prime example of what NDAs are for. Hello. And it is, that's right. TRC, It is not personal. It's business. They're not fooling with you. But also, we have to keep in mind, he knew better because in 2023, he was dealing with a nut bucket Caucasian lady named Miss Michelle. I have to describe her because this is relevant to the warnings he was given by Monique and Cat Williams. Now, with the nut bucket lady, her name is Michelle. Michelle is a bald-faced lie. Absolutely. We know Michelle is the cuckoo lady who from prison filed a lawsuit against him for like $10 million, claiming he assaulted her and a variety of other things. Meanwhile, she ran her husband over with a vehicle and would have been cheating on her husband at the time if, in fact, she was in this love affair with Mr. Shannon, as she claims. Lo and behold. Here is what I think it's the New York Times says, or ESPN says. Let me share this. Lord have mercy. ESPN is saying it is parting ways with Mr. Sharpe following the lawsuit. Lo and behold, as my girl Jessie Wu says, lo and behold and lo. ESPN cut ties with the Hall of Famer and media analyst less than 2 weeks after he settled a lawsuit in which his ex-girlfriend accused him of the R word. He's not been on ESPN since late April when the suit first was filed. He said at the time he would return at the beginning of the NFL training camp, and ESPN declined to comment. Their decline to comment told him, this is what it means. It means they said, go handle that, and then we will reconvene. So that sounds like what they really meant is, we're not making you any promises, but go handle it, come back, and depending on how it's handled, we will decide. It says the woman known as Jane Doe was seeking $50 million for pain and suffering, psychological and emotional distress, mental anguish, embarrassment, and humiliation. Sharpe publicly denied the allegations immediately after his accuser filed the suit, saying it was a, quote, shakedown attempt. He has maintained that he and that woman were in a consensual actual relationship since retiring from the NFL. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. It says he's 57 years old. Okay, it says he's 57. She is now like 23. Okay, the age isn't gross. The age gap, questionable / gross. Okay, it's gross, Hunk. It's gross. The age gap is gross. Like, why wouldn't you date, if you like whores, why wouldn't you date Nicole Murphy? Seriously. Nicole Murphy is like, if I ever wanted to be a whore, she's the prototype. Like, she is a kind of slut I aspire to be. She's gorgeous. At least from her photos, I've never seen her in person. Her surgeries look immaculate. Did she mismanage her money? Yeah. But she now uses her vagina. I like to say it with an R just for YouTube purposes. She now uses her vagina to, acquire more of it. So it's like, why wouldn't you just do it to Nicole Murphy or a hoe of that caliber? An age range hoe. If you don't like black ladies, she's miscellaneous enough, You know what I'm saying? I heard her mama's other. My mama's black, though. My mama's a black lady. Now, she looked like a Caucasian, but she's not a Caucasian. She's a Creole. She's a Creole black lady who will slap the living out of you if you disrespect her. I'm just saying. Nicole Murphy. But now that I'm thinking about, Nicole probably didn't want him. That's right. She didn't want him because there was a time she was running around. She was engaged to the other one. What's that gentleman's? Michael. They went to TSU. That's what it was. I think it was a respect thing. He didn't go with Nicole because it was respect from. I like that. I like that respect amongst the athletes. Says, I'm not going to touch your hoe and you don't touch my hoe. Leave my hoe alone. That's what it was. Is that what it was? Michael Strahan. He respects Michael. He said, Michael, I'm not going to touch your hoe, but I will masturbate to her. And there we go. But my point is, perhaps, Unc, now you will just kind of restructure the types and the caliber of whores that you entertain. All whores aren't made the same. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that for many years I had a ho-hum girl. Many, many years. And she is of a particular caliber, right? Not the best. Oh, no. She's a Flint, Michigan hoe. So I have to say, they're different. And I wouldn't recommend all of them. Anyway, the point is, all hoes aren't created equal, right? Dr. Martin Luther King said all people are created equal, but he wasn't referring to these types of ladies. I just want to be clear there. And excuse me. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But I also think that this is a really good warning lesson to any other dunce in the sports industry who is that goofy to think this was a good idea. Oh, I got a visual for you. I got a visual. Hold on. Like, what did he think was going to... Oh my God. I think they took down my page. You can't take down my favorite page now. Or did she block me? Maybe she blocked me. Hold on. Wait. Y'all, if Instagram took down my favorite page that I was about to put up, she better block me. She better block me good. Sorry. Because, y'all. I'm calling, if Instagram took this page down for posting what I think they posted, I'm calling the police. You can't take this page down. I don't think I did anything to block. Hold on. Wait. They had a really good post about, oh boy, Shannon Sharpe. Wait a minute. Don't y'all go nowhere. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, wait, it's big, okay. Hold on. We got it. The link you follow may be broken. This about to piss me off. Hold on. See, this is why I be getting in trouble. I be getting blocked. Let me go to my Finsta page. Hold on, let me go to my Finsta. Okay, anyway, it was the Gossip in the City page had a specific post that was about Shannon Sharpe, and I really loved it. Oh, yeah, here we go. Do not block me, y'all. Stop blocking me. See, this is why I got to use my damn Finsta page. Sorry, guys. You deserve better. I'm just not that better. Here we go. Now we're ready. Okay, I hope you can see it. So this is one of my favorite. Here we go. Hold the line. Yeah. I was making sure. I was like, I don't think Shannon has the power to like block them. They're really good. All right. This is Gossip in the City. They wrote ESPN Hall of Famer cut ties. Yes, cut ties with ESPN. But there was a specific post, and it may have been that it got taken down. Here we are.
Tell you what my baby need. He need him an old fat gal.
That's what it is.
Good cakes. Make some smothered turkey wings. Who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime?
Woo!
Okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon need. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches, and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Dang. When they want you to go for the fourth round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks? Yeah, because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that fourth round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. Shit. So he thought I was going to be scared. Yes, I'm talking. And I know an old gal, she'd be good to you. Her name is Elladora. Let me tell you what my baby.
So here's what I need you guys to do in the chat. And this is what Uncle Shannon needs to, because he's clearly a nymphomaniac. What I need you to do, and I'm really serious about this, and I mean this from the bottom of my Christian heart. I need you to drop the name of a whore that you know in the chat. Drop the name of a whore that you think he should give a go to. Drop her name. If you like to drop her Instagram, do that as well. I know he's active on Insta. He is 57, so maybe he's more of a Facebooker. Drop the name of an old girl. Now I got one back home. Her name is Miss Rhonda. I'm not going to give you her last name, but her name is Miss Rhonda, and she has taught me a thing or two. When I was 16, and I had told her I had to break up with my first love because I wasn't ready to do it to him, and he put that pressure on me. She reminded me that both of his parents were doctors and that he was rich, and that if she were me, she would have gave it to him so that she could then be rolling around in a bed of money, just rolling around in the money, rolling around. Now I had to remind her. He was 16. He didn't have any money. He had no W-2. He filed 0 taxes. He was beholden to his mama and his daddy. Okay. But she wanted me to see the horizon. She wanted me to see what my adult vaginal walls would have been capable of, right? So I really respect, and I love me some Miss Rhonda for what you say. So I would say, I won't send him a picture of Miss Rhonda. I'm gonna do that. Today might be too soon. I'm gonna give about 48 hours. Over this weekend, I'm gonna start with Miss Wanda. If you know, and you guys do, I know that you know when there's one in your church, there's one at your community center. Her limbs may not work the same. You need to get somebody who's functional. We've got Nicole Murphy. Oh, what about not Tokyo Tony? I don't think he's gonna go for that. Somebody said, "Hook me up." Oh yeah, hook me up. Oh, Adina Howard, that could be a good one. Are we sure? Are we sure he wants women? I think you're asking the questions that people want to know. Oh, he only likes children. I don't know any children. The only children I could think of is if you know someone who has aged out of perhaps like the foster care system. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to mentor that person. Don't do it to him. Just take his money. Send him to me. I'm going to have him figured out. We're going to get some tuition paid. You're just going to sit with that man. You're going to sit. You're going to read him the Bible. Maybe read him his script or two for his little podcast. You're not doing it to him. Give me one of them girls that's an aid out of that group home system. We're going to get her into her own property. We're going to get her some mineral rights. Listen, we have got to protect Black wealth. And this is just one way we can do it. All right. Drea or Portia? Oh, Portia. Now, Portia's a little old for him, but she's not old for him. She's actually just right. Portia, if you can hear my voice, DM me. Private consultation. Portia, I know you got what it takes. I know it. And I also know I don't know if he's like gay or straight or like impatient. You know, I would say you're gay, straight, or impatient. I don't know if he's gay, straight, or impatient. But if he's like impatient, Portia, this wouldn't be your first time. If he's other. Now, I'm not saying your ex-husband liked it up the doo-doo hole. No. I went to the University of Pittsburgh, and I will say this about her ex-husband. I personally had a classmate who we all believed was his boyfriend because, first of all, he was a cutie patootie, and he stated this particular person was like, he would come fresh to death to class all the time, University of Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh. He had a floor-length leather jacket he would wear to school. Okay, he was amazing. I'm gonna do my best. If I accidentally say his name, I'm gonna turn this live off, baby, like I turn off a hot stove, honey. And that guy, he used to say that he was in a relationship with a Pittsburgh Steeler and that he wouldn't tell nobody what it is, but that guy financed and funneled his entire life. That was his boyfriend. That was his boo. All the things. And then all of it, like on campus, we believe we put 2 and 2 together because those things equal 4. And I was a finance major. We all believed that it was her husband. And it also was consistent. The reason I also thought that was Portia's husband was my homeboy's boyfriend was because there was a one episode when Portia had some fundraiser and he comes to the fundraiser, her husband comes to the fundraiser, and rather than cutting a check for the fundraiser, he's like, I want to present you with a gift. And the gift was a Chanel purse. I said, that ain't the gayest shit I'd have ever seen. How are you going to come to my fundraiser where I'm fundraising money and not give me money, but give me a purse? You're donating a purse to my fundraiser. The children that can't read or whatever her little fundraiser for is for like the Negroes of Atlanta that can't read real good, but we're going to try to help them or whatever it was called. They don't need a purse. They don't need a Chanel purse. They need Hooked on Phonics, and that costs money. It was very expensive because my cousin that used to set things on fire, he was a little arsonist. Aunt Joyce's son, Kentrail. Whatever, I'm going to blip that out. My Aunt Joyce, who used to set things on fire, she's gone to glory. But then she passed away, and her son, he likes to set things on fire now. If you watched my interview on Dear Future Wifey, you know exactly what I'm referring to. Point being, the son used to set things on fire too. And what I'm saying is it's a full circle. Those are the kind of kids that need the help. But this man is over here, instead of donating money, donating purses. Purses. That's how I knew it. I don't know who he does it to. Sorry. But I do know he don't do it. We're talking about Portia's ex-husband. He doesn't do it to Andrew Caldwell, who has blocked me. Andrew, unblock me. Y'all tell Andrew to unblock me. He doesn't owe it to Andrew because Andrew was sued and got a default judgment. Okay. Asking, does he still owe the settlement if he has no contracts that it may have been based on for how he would pay her? Thank you, Britt, for the question of the day. Thank you. You're taking me away from my sidebar, which is what I needed. Didn't take my medicine today, as you guys can see, my ADD medication. Here's what Britt's asking. If Shannon Sharpe, does Shannon Sharpe still owe the settlement that he gave old girl, which was at least, according to my sources, at least $20 million, if he doesn't have any contracts in which to pay her? The answer is it depends on how the contracts were written. Now, if I were Mr. Sharpe's attorneys, right, I would write the contract settlement terms to say, this is how the payment terms are going to work for your money. And it's going to be, for example, that you're going to get paid $1 million a month for the next 10 months with a lump sum of 10 million or 5 million or whatever it's going to be. But you'll get a lump sum of 1 million a month. Because remember, there were 2 deals on the table. There was, there's ESPN, and there's also supposed to be a podcast deal. So that settlement money would be a lump sum amount because the other side is going to require a lump sum amount. That's what Tony Busby would get his initial 33 1/3, or at this point it's 40%. Correction. So now if it's 20 million, he gets 40% of that, which is 8 million. But if the payment terms say this payment is contingent upon him closing, for example, the podcast deal and earning X amount of money, or if it's, returning to ESPN and earning X amount of money. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm sure the deal doesn't say that, because that Rudy Poot lawyer that he had, that old man who looked like he was about to go on to glory in about 16 minutes, who told the entire world that Shannon offered 10 million, that guy where nobody knew he offered 10 million until his own lawyer opened up his mouth and told the universe. I don't think that guy has enough together to tie the settlement or even to negotiate tying the settlement to any of the contracts. That would have been smart. But anybody with the sense that says, "Oh, I'm gonna tell the universe that he offered $10 million and he's innocent," doesn't have the sense to structure it such that it is contingent upon ESPN taking it back. But that would have been smart. Somebody said Shannon should have hired Simone. He should have. I do confidential celebrity consultations all the time. Your favorite celebrity has probably hired me for something. You'll just never know because I don't talk about those. So I do want to say that. Somebody said, be careful tonight, as I should. He changed lawyers. Awesome. So then if he changed lawyers, and he probably changed it after that man announced that, it's entirely possible. Because I'm thinking about the person who did where it saved their bottom, Wendy Williams. Remember, Wendy Williams' attorneys, her divorce lawyer actually made the payments to her ex-husband contingent upon her continuing to work on the show. And that was brilliant. Because number one, he was claiming that he, as her manager, was entitled to continue earning money because he got her that show deal. So they said, okay, cool. You got the show deal. Cool. Your alimony is going to be based on the money she makes from the show. And if she doesn't make money from the show, you don't get nothing. How is Shannon going to get paid? Shannon's probably going to move. I'm going to tell you this. So he either already paid or it's a payment plan. If it's a payment plan, and the best thing he should do is move his behind to Texas or Florida. Texas or Florida and file bankruptcy. If you see that this man has moved to Texas or Florida and filed bankruptcy, that's probably exactly what happened. Or he's going to get the podcasting deal with the $100 million and then use that to pay it. That's it. That's all. Oh, thank you, Brooklyn Dreams. Brooklyn Dreams said he tried Nicole. Nicole said, I don't want that. Will the jury have awarded her $20 million? No, but here's the problem. No, she wouldn't have got 20. No. I don't believe a jury in Nevada, in that county, would have given her that. I think they would have saw exactly what it was. A shakedown. Mutual, weird, kinky sex. But the problem is the amount of time it takes to even get to that jury, which could be 2 to 3 years. The amount of contracts he will have lost will have been worth more than any amount he would have saved. So if a jury says, no, you don't have to pay her a dime, and that effectively saves him $20 million, but he loses 50 in the 2 to 3 years getting to trial, he's screwed. He's screwed. It's other questions. All his business would have been out in the public too. That's right. She was already paid. I don't know who was already paid. It says Shannon better hope he can get some multi-million-dollar podcast deal. He can still here's the thing though. I think podcast deals don't care. Podcast deals are very different than TV deals because TV deals have to care about all the all the advertisers, both in your show and on the network. Because someone who doesn't even advertise on your show could say, if you keep Shannon on your network, we're not going to run an ad in any of the shows. Ooh, you got a problem. Whereas Shannon now, for his podcast and this, that, and third, he only has to care about the advertisers that want to come on his show. He only has to care. And who are they? They're freaking DraftKings. Oh my God. They create habitual gamblers. They don't care. As long as you don't beat your wife. He didn't beat that girl. He beat her pussy up a little bit. Might have. Allegedly. He didn't whip that woman. He didn't whip her at all. He just whipped her holes. Do I think he learned anything? No. Yeah. So the answer is he could be good. I haven't watched his show all the way through in a minute. Y'all have to tell me could y'all tell me in the chat, who are some of the sponsors for Shannon Sharpe's podcast? And based on those, I can tell you my thought. Happy Thursday, y'all. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Oh, he got that thing good. Marcus, he tore that thing up. She was out of here screaming for black baby juice. She said, give me that baby battle. However, podcasting is oversaturated. Good luck. Yeah, finding a large sponsor. So it's more so a matter of keeping the sponsors that he has. Here's the thing. And here's how sponsorship works, to be honest. If the viewers are there, the sponsors will stay. If the viewers are there, the sponsors will stay. Podcast sponsors, YouTube sponsors are different. Accumulating, like I said, are different than TV. I am silly. Somebody said I'm silly. Yeah, he's got beer sponsors. Oh, drink. Well, we know you got to drink beer because you got to drink beer to make that girl look cute enough for $20 million. I once had my underwear folded at Abercrombie and Fitch, but it was 10 times prettier. Okay. I once had a questionably legal woman clean my bathroom who looked 100 times prettier than that girl. Okay. He picked that girl because she was a baby batter dump hole. You can just shoot it up in there, and she's like, all right. But can you imagine if you're calculating, you're like, I got this senior citizen putting that juice up this butthole to where I'm going to get me $10 million. Imagine what you might be willing to stuff up there for $10 million at the age of 23 or 20. Now, when I was 20, I wasn't trying to put anything in my bottom. But I do remember picking up the phone, calling my Creole granny and saying, Granny, I'm supposed to be graduating in May. And I know I'm summa cum laude and y'all want a lot out of me, but Mima, I just found out I'm pretty. And so, Mima, I don't want to work. I'm pretty like you, girl. And so my grandma's from New Orleans. So I say, Mima, I'm pretty like you, girl. I don't want to work. And I just found out I'm pretty. So what I'm thinking instead of me getting a job, Mima, I think I need to get a husband, but I don't know how to cook a lot of stuff. So can you send me a recipe book? Because I feel like the type of husband that I want, who's going to say I ain't got to work, no. He going to be the type of man that's going to want me to make him some food and clean his clothes and iron his stuff. He going to want me to do when he say do. So, Mima, what you think? She said, oh, girl, you do look like me, so you're real pretty, yeah. What's your address? And then my grandma, she mailed me cookbooks of things I can make in the microwave. To this day, I make jambalaya in the microwave. Don't tell any of your brothers or cousins that you want to hook me up with, but I do. I say that to say, at that age of 20, it's some weird shit that you be thinking about doing instead of getting a job because you don't want to work. See, I didn't want to get a job. I discovered I was pretty, called my grandma, got a cookbook, and then I started soliciting Nigerian men. I did. They're really good at math and science, and we had a strong engineering department at the University of Pittsburgh. I solicited engineering boys, especially the engineering ones, because they were Catholic, disproportionately, and I thought, you'll take care of me. I'm going to get with you and you'll take care of me. And then I can just figure out what this prettiness will get me or not. And it didn't take me a long time. It took me about 1 year of, different first round draft picks flying me around the nation for me to discover being pretty alone got you nothing but solicitation request. And that's how I ended up at Cornell Law School on an almost full scholarship at Ivy League school. So that happened. The point of the story, sorry, I'm getting back to it. Sidebar. The point of the story is this girl, I wouldn't be surprised if she had a plan, and her plan here, it worked. Not a damn thing. That's right. Pretty alone is not going to get you nothing. I just found out I was pretty. Senior year. I was 20 years old my senior year. I never went to kindergarten. My mom was sick of me. She said, get the hell out of here. Go back to school. Get out of here. Go to school. 20 years old. I was senior, and I found out I was pretty. I need to drink more water. I'm not drunk at all. I'm just on a roll. Yeah, I found out I was pretty at Howard Homecoming. And from there, it was over for them NFL niggas. It was over. It was over. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that out loud. All right, back to the story at hand. So that's Shannon Sharpe. We're going to see what happened. It's an algorithm to my science. That's Shannon Sharpe. We're going to see what happened. I am sorry for Shannon. Let's see who were his sponsors. I actually don't think he's going to lose a lot of sponsors. I think the types may change. So, for example, he's probably going to get a lot more gambling, beer sponsors, weed sponsors, that type of thing. Yeah, but we shall see. She was able to retire. Yep, she did retire. The girl retired from OnlyFans. So we're going to see what's next. Thank you. All right. Next up, our next story on the docket, just real quick. Astronomer, just a quick update. Astronomer. This so funny looking man. He worked my nerves out. Ugh. Here we go. Astronomer. And there we go. So the Astronomer CEO, Andy, is allegedly now trying to sue. I'm going to let you guys know. This man ain't trying to sue. I think that is clickbait. He can't possibly be that dumb. Here's why suing is a dumbass idea. Oh, dumb butt idea. Before I get into that, I just want to say, if you hear nothing else, to my content creators out there, this is the 11th time I'm going to remind you, get your defamation insurance. Of course, I have mine in play. If you have an LLC, or even if you rent your house or your condo, call your insurance provider and say, I need to add defamation insurance. That way, when you run stories like I'm running about Andy, you don't have to worry about being sued, because if you are, State Farm, Liberty Mutual, Allstate, whoever you have is going to kick in and defend you. Now, oh boy is allegedly suing for defamation. Nope, he's not, and he can't, or he can. He can, but he'll lose. Number one reason, these are the top reasons why, if the CEO of Astronomer were trying to sue, it would be a dumb butt idea. Number one, when you sue and you file a lawsuit in a case that's got this much publicity, you only extend the amount of time that people talk about your mishap, dumb butt. Andy. So Andy, the CEO, is allegedly suing, not Astronomer itself. So if you do that, then Andy, instead of us talking about it for, I don't know, we're not going to care about it in a week or two. We're going to talk about it for as long as your lawsuit exists, and that will be years. Years, buddy. Years. That's not going to happen. But next up, the second reason is going to be also, here's the thing. The kiss cam has been in operation for years. I remember thinking that I had a boyfriend this semester. This is about a year or two after I've discovered I was cute. What was that? It was like my second year of law school. I had a boyfriend that I now think was probably married, because he would never let me go to his house. He claimed he lived with his sister, and it was all kind of weird-ish. And he takes me to an Atlanta Hawks game, the basketball team, and the kiss cam comes to us, and he ducked. I think he was married. The kiss cam, though, guys, you consent to the kiss cam when you walk into that arena. Here's why. Your tickets, on the back of them, they have different fine print. Part of the fine print says, by coming into this arena, you agree to be filmed. Why? Hello. Think about basketball games. When you go to a basketball game, right? What are they, televised? And then when you're sitting behind the team or whatever, there's a chance you're going to be on TV. Just like when the kiss cam, shows, there's a chance you're going to be on TV. Most people don't pay attention to it, but there is fine print on every ticket, master ticket, that says, hey, by walking into this arena, by coming to this concert, you have consented to being filmed. And that film can show up anywhere. That's how come people can make, like with Michael Jackson, there were all these documentaries, right, about his performances, and they'd cut to the crowd. They never paid anybody in the crowd, because from the antiquity, right, from the 80s, from the 70s, whatever, they've had that provision. So that's how come No money will be provided. Also, you may go to concerts sometimes and you'll see when you walk in, and sometimes we'll have a poster somewhere at the entrance. That's all they have to do to protect themselves. It says all he had to do was wear a mask, or all he had to do was not cheat, you whore. That's it. Don't be a whore. Marcus, you're still weird. You're being weird. Yeah, he should just keep quiet so that it would go away. My husband is a nerd. Thanks for sharing. Shannon should have took Monique's advice. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. So in the end, if he tries to sue, that's fine. He's only going to make it worse for himself. He's going to create more fodder as well for his wife in the event that his wife decides she wants to leave him, because each and everything that he shares will be public. Oh, also, guys, I don't know what the heck he would sue for. Maybe emotional distress. Here's the problem. With emotional distress, there's something called comparative fault. I talked about this on my last episode, which means a jury gets to decide how much of this is your fault and how much of this is Coldplay's fault. If that jury determines that this is like 50 or 51% the cheater's fault, he gets nothing. Dumb butt. He's not going to file. A jury is going to say, hey, maybe if you weren't cheating on your wife, you wouldn't have been called out at the concert. And it can't be defamation because you were cheating on your wife. TMZ also posted photos of you kissing and hugging on old girl prior to. So that's why we know Astronomer CEO, if he's an idiot to sue, he's going to be the idiot to lose. And he'll be creating a paper trail that'll be fantastic for his wife to use against him. Oh, speaking of wives, I think we've got a bonus topic. We've got a bonus topic. Hey, y'all, I'm your legal bestie, attorney Simone, and I break down legal cases on my YouTube channel called Girl, Is That Legal? And on social media. Check me out at Attorney Simone Redwine on Instagram. The bonus question, Zay is saying, Simone, talk about Tyrese and his quote, Black Queen wanting more money. Oh, I will. Now, if you check my videos, and I'll try to link it to this one as well, I did a prior video where I broke down the true reason why Tyrese was arrested last year for failure to pay about $73,000 worth of child support. When I gave that breakdown, what you'll see is that the true reason Tyrese was arrested was because Tyrese was ordered to pay $10,000 a month in child support. He said he only wanted to pay $3,000 a month in child support, and that's all he was paying. He was also ordered to pay, pursuant to his divorce and prenuptial agreement provisions, he was ordered to pay the legal fees for his ex-wife, and he refused. Now, I have to be clear. He needed to go to jail. And I was actually disappointed they let him out without paying the $73K at the time. The reason why is because child support is set on a percentage of your income. He has 2 children, 2 different households. When that happens, your income is generally set at 25% of your income. And then it's split between each household, right? So if it's 25%, 12.5% to one, 12.5% to the other. He told the court, Tyrese, with his sing, song, and sell, told the court he earns $275,000 a month, but that he only wanted to pay for his younger daughter $3,000, and for his older daughter he wanted to pay $10,000 a month. This court had no control over what he paid to the older daughter, where he was paying $10,000. But there's no court in America that will tell a man earning $275,000 per month. Yes, I yelled at you. Per month, that you should pay less than 1% of your income in child support. Mind you, from whatever that dollar amount is from that $3,000, he was expecting his ex-wife to pay for daycare, school, housing, transportation, tutoring, nursery school, extracurriculars, and more. Go to jail. Go to jail or go to hell. Go to jail or go to hell. Somebody said that is quite a substantial sum he's earning. So when those people are saying, she's a gold digger, you need to leave, I say, you need to read. Or it's okay. If you don't want to read, I understand. You got a job, you got a life. Come to my channel. I'm going to break it down for you. So let's be clear. The $500K at issue is not the ex-wife asking for $500,000. No, it's actually her lawyers enforcing the order already signed by the judge, because they had an initial prenup. The whole point of the prenup is to not fight over the amounts. What happened though with the prenup is she wanted to just say, all right, we're getting a divorce. She literally said, we're getting a divorce. I just want what it says I'm entitled to in the prenup. He said, no. Now, if anybody who's followed Tyrese, you know he said no. And then he got to crying. I don't know that he got to crying, but I probably, you do me like this. Why you do so wrong? You know he got to crying, right? And made himself the victim. He did not want to enforce his own prenup that he had drafted by his lawyers. As a result, she had no choice, but she had, I think the child at the time was around 3 or 4. And she was not working during the marriage, so she had to hire an attorney and have the attorney say, hey, I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to split. I need you to file the divorce. Anybody knows when you're dating someone who makes $275,000 a month and you're not working and you have a 3-year-old, the court's going to order the other person to pay your attorney's fees for the divorce. Mind you, she ultimately did get a job. She got 2 jobs, and her record showed she was earning $7K a month. But here's the thing. Both parents are supposed to support the kid. I see people that say, oh, but she had a job. What did she need it for? Because both parents support the kid. I got a mama and a daddy. They both went to work. So the $500K that Tyrese is crying about was court ordered because he would not enforce his own prenup. If he would have just said, fine, I'll have my lawyers execute documents and send you what it says you're entitled to in the prenup, would nobody be here. Tyrese to this day is appealing to the Georgia Appellate and Supreme Court's rulings that were made regarding the prenup. He was appealing it, not her. Mind you, there's a provision in the prenup. I did do this breakdown. There was a provision in the prenup that specifically said she was entitled to a certain dollar amount monthly sum based on how long they were married. She didn't even get that. The court said because she was college educated and earning $7,000 a month, she wasn't entitled to the dollar amount that his prenup said. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If that were my client, I'd be like, he want to appeal this? We don't appeal it. She wasn't even appealing the amount of money she was supposed to get. And he was appealing having to pay her lawyer's fees. So yeah, that's what happens when he didn't pay the lawyer's fees that were due for a woman who you had be a stay-at-home mom. Y'all see how fucking needy this man is. And he ain't got but a girlfriend. Imagine how needy he would be if you married his nutty ass. No. But also, she had to fight with him, remember, because he only wanted to pay $3,000 a month in total child support for his child, school-age child, that needs private school. This is Atlanta. My nieces go to a private school. I'm telling too much business. I know people that go to a private school that cost like easily $20 to $30K a year. That literally would be the entire amount of child support. He's not even willing to pay half of private school. He was saying, I'm going to give you $3,000 and do that. No, the court actually ordered that he pay $10,000. Where did the $10,000 come from? The 10 was too generous. This is why I don't do family law. It's because I be getting these women that want to be nice. They're like, oh no. So what happens? His older daughter was getting $10K a month. So this mom said, I just want him to pay whatever he pays for his other daughter, thinking, okay, you're already paying that. That's normal. Not a problem from that. I'll make it work. First of all, he's underpaying for the first daughter. At $275 a month for that daughter, 20% is what he should have been paying in his income. So that would have been closer to $50,000 a month, but he was given 10. For the two, it would have been 20, which was still underpaying, because for 2 kids, it's generally in most states $25,000, and then some states do have caps. I will acknowledge that they have caps. Either way, she was like, I just, this is how I calculated, pay the same as the other. He said no, which says to me, he don't like her. And he's saying, because I don't like you, I'm gonna make your baby suffer. I don't. You don't. $3,000 a month. I spend more than $3,000 a month on myself, and I ain't no way rich. Yeah, it would have been 50. Yes, if it was actually 25%. That wasn't what she asked for. She asked for the wife. This is the only wife he's had. The other woman was a mother of a child, which is no problem. A mother of a child. So in the end, there's a huge myth about the Tyrese $500K. The $500K is not being asked for by the wife. It's being asked for by her attorneys to enforce a court order to pay attorney's fees for the frivolous appeals he's done, for the frivolous motions they've had to file because he refused to abide by the court orders, for the times when he refused to actually pay the $10,000 a month ordered by the court and says he's only paying $3,000 a month, despite him telling the court. No one made these numbers up. He told the court he makes $25,000 a month. That is it. That is all. I am